Steven Correño right here with the one and only Mikey Garcia. Tell me, brother, Prospects Collide 2. It was an amazing event, bro. It was the first one I've been to. It's a great arena. The fans are right here. It's an amazing event, man. Tell us about it.
Yeah, thanks. Well, look, I put the shows together to give the kids, the young prospects an opportunity to show the skills and develop. I keep reminding everybody this is where it starts. I started in clubs like this, events like this, and you really get to develop as a young fighter, as a young prospect, which all these kids are. We match them up well so they can learn from it. You just give a kid an easy win, a knockout win doesn't really do much. You give them a good fight so they can learn. And that's what this is about, give the kids an opportunity to develop, in their young careers.
I was gonna tell you, man, your matchmaker I feel deserves. You did excellent, bro. Like every one of these fights was good. It was competitive. You could tell there wasn't necessarily like an A and B side, kind of what you said. Sometimes you see these prospects with kind of no hopers type of thing.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. I mean, it doesn't help the fighter develop if he's not gonna learn. Getting a first round knockout sometimes is great, but a few rounds allows the fighter to learn more. And also, we put on good fights for the fans. We want to make sure that the fans are entertained and that they're here sitting watching a good night of boxing, evenly matched fights, and that's what we do.
Well, nobody left here unhappy for sure today, man. It was some great fights tonight. Are we going to see Mikey Garcia fighting under Garcia Promotions sometime soon, maybe?
Look, we're working on a lot of things for my own career as a fighter. I'm still not done. We had a setback in our last fight, but that's just boxing. That's the way it is. I got big plans still ahead of me. I'm working on something to secure a fight before the end of this year. But if I get something big, I want to push for something bigger next year. So I want to align something like that, and maybe I'll align myself with a company that can help me, get the fights that I want. Just like I've been, keeping relations with everybody, keep the doors open. But at the same time, I'm going to start developing Garcia Promotions. So you will see Garcia Promotions in my next fights. Possibly we do one on our own.
Yeah, man, it's definitely going up from here for sure. When you talk about kind of plans you got, I know you posted the other day, like people forget, you know what I mean? Like just because you have one loss, yeah, but it's true though, you know what I mean? Like people kind of, forget that you're still a beast. I was only one loss, you know what I mean? And I've been talking to a lot of people about, I feel that Manny Pacquiao, obviously is going to be staying at 147. Sure. It sounds like we've heard rumors about Danny Garcia. I feel like that's kind of slowed down a little bit. What could you tell us? You just said, probably by the end of this year, 147, 140. What's the latest you could tell us?
The thing with the Danny fight was never really anything, a real offer. It was just brought up to me if I'd be interested in that, and that was back in May. The media ran with that several times, and reports kept coming out, but there was never any real movement in that direction. I would love to take on a fight with Danny. I think that would be a great fight for both of us and for the fans, but that never really turned to fruition. So we don't know if that will happen or not. I'm open to discussing that with whoever needs to be on that table and secure that fight. But if that's not an option, then I'm going to look forward to something else. Whoever else is available, give me something before the end of the year. Just give me back and look for bigger fights in the early part of next year, which is what I really want to do. I want to regain, where I was and show everybody there's a lot more to Mikey Garcia than what they believe was my last performance.
147, 140, are you staying kind of up there? I mean, 135 is in your rear view for sure?
I think 40, 47 would be probably my next fight, depending on the opponent, time frame. But 35, we don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do 35 in my next fight. That's why I vacated the title. It was a mandatory title defense I had to do against Campbell, and I couldn't make 135 on my next outing, so I needed to vacate the title. But if I do come down to 140 first, then I could consider and look into the 135 division once again. But until then, I have no clear answer. I might stay at 47. I'm not sure yet.
What you mentioned you vacated the title. Lomachenko won the title versus Luke Campbell. It was a good scrap. I mean, it was a good fight there for a while. What were your thoughts on Lomachenko's performance?
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Sorry. I mean, I read about it, but I didn't see the fight. I was actually in Salinas at a amateur boxing show that I was hosting there and helping sponsor. So I missed the fight.
You talk about, probably 140, 147. I've been telling people I feel that you're kind of one of the leading candidates for Manny Pacquiao next year, because I feel that, especially if you're around in the weight class, obviously the Mexico-Filipino rivalry thing kind of sparks back up again. But I don't know, I'm sure you're interested in something like, I don't know, are you? Because I know prior to Spence, you kind of, I don't know if you were super interested in the Pacquiao fight, but I don't know. What is that still an option now, or?
It does interest me a lot. In fact, my dad and my brother wanted that fight a lot more.
Yeah.
I wanted, Spence.
Yeah.
If that's proposed to me and it's a real offer, serious offer, I'm definitely gonna consider that. We don't know if it's gonna happen or not. I still don't know, but I would love to take that fight. But he does have options, even though. I may be one of the names that is brought up to his attention. He has plenty of options. He just beat Keith Thurman. He's back on top. He could fight any other welterweight there, and he's willing to fight anybody. He's a living legend. I would definitely consider fighting him. I would love that opportunity, and I think the fans would also enjoy that. But it's not just my call. We got to see what he also has to say and who he prefers. But I'm willing to sit down and discuss that.
Yeah, man. After watching Pacquiao against Thurman, how do you approach a Pacquiao fight? This version of Pacquiao, 40-year-old young Pacquiao.
This Pacquiao was you rewind the clock, 6 years ago, because he did what he had not done in the latest fights. He started off the fight very aggressive right away from round one. Relentless pressure, just like the old Pacquiao, kept coming strong. He got hit a couple of times, but he was resilient. He stood there. He wasn't hurt, and that shows a lot. That tells a lot. So we have to prepare ourselves well. Be smart. Be quick. Be smart about what we do, because this ain't no old Pacquiao. This is, like I said, you rewinded the clock 6 years. So we would have to obviously make some very good game plans for this. He's a living legend. He's fought the best. He ain't afraid to let his hands go against anybody. He's fought up to 154 pounders, and you got to respect the guy and got to be well prepared. So I'm sure my brother, my dad, myself would do that. But I would love to get a chance to get in the ring with him.
I would love to see it, man. I hope that comes to fruition.